Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Brandon in the house. We have Brent, we have Alexia, we have Mikhail, and today is another episode of On the Beat, Season 2, Episode 2.
Season 3,
what we gonna be talking? Season 3, my bad. I'm very sorry. I apologize. Alright, so what we're gonna be talking about today is the ever-growing fear of COVID. We know that COVID celebrating its second birthday this year coming, March coming, so shout out to COVID for ruining everybody's life. Happy birthday.
That's why I'm in this thing for like 3-4 years now.
Three years.
So let me just jump right into the discussion. So the first question is, what is your take on the mask mandates being lifted in some parts of the world? So I know in America, some of the states, their mask mandates were you had to have on a mask in different kinds of scenarios or different places. So what's all the take about that?
Well, so my form teacher, she brought this up in class as well, and she was saying that they could get to take off the mask and do whatever they want now. But she did bring up a valid point. She said that Trinidad is not ready for that. So even though they don't have to wear their mask anymore, it's understandable why we still have to wear ours. Because we are behind. I never remember if it's a third or a second world country we are, but we are up there and we're not first world. So we not where they are at when it comes to progressing quickly.
But the thing is too is like they eager to have their normal life back too. So it's like sometimes they ignore the protocols, and even though the government might have protocols, they might just want to have that kind of freedom of how they used to live. And they're just pushing for that, whether they're ready or not.
Back to the basics.
My take is, sorry, Mikhail, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, even though I personally would like to have it lifted, as like Alexa said, I would agree with her teacher and with her point as well, because we just is a third world country. We don't really have what it takes to take that necessary step right now. Even though we kind of break the law now and then, unfortunately, but I don't think we fully ready or fully prepared to undergo that route right now.
Very true. And this will lead us into one of my other questions. So, you know that the current Prime Minister is Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. So, if you were in his position, right? Like, let me say you was President of Trinidad, Lord, don't strike me. Prime Minister. Let me say you was Prime Minister. What difference you would I do, or what changes you would I make than the current Prime Minister right now?
I see it kind of difficult too, because of the fact that it had to balance between the health of your society and the economy of your society. So if they go into lockdown, if they go under protocols, it might hamper the economy. And if they lift the protocols, it will help the economy. So it's like a lose-lose situation. And people used to say that your health comes first and people's lives come first. But all of a sudden in this pandemic, the economy is on par with your health or life. And they highlighting that if people are poor, if people have no jobs or they have nothing to eat, they're going to die anyway. So
you see, that was not an issue before, because health was always above, because the economy was always thriving. So when COVID come now, it's like you had to have it equal. But you can't really do anything different if you don't understand everything in its entirety. And I do not understand everything in its entirety. How would I know what he has done versus what he hasn't done in an extent of what's going on behind the scenes? Like, you could hear what he say he doing, but other things happening behind the scenes. So how could I say, well, to be honest, I don't agree, when he probably changing it in a way that he cannot relate to the public? So I don't know. I personally find I can't say I would change anything, because I don't understand it.
Valid point, valid point. Michael, what say you?
If it had one thing that I would possibly change, that I guess you all will probably disagree with me. I would probably live the safe zones, cause for me, I understand why there are safe zones, but in terms of the goal of the safe zone, I don't think we're really reaching the goal of the safe zone because cases are still rising within the country. And that is a step I would take because it does people are disadvantaged in terms of going places.
Very true.
Very true. Very true. Well, this will. I'll ask another question. In the next 10 to 20 years, right? In the intro, I had said that COVID going to be celebrating 2 years coming March. So, all I think in the next 10, 20 years, it's still going to be around. Because I get personally fed up with this.
I feel like I get 3-4 years.
If I'm being honest, I would say it will still be there, but it won't be as effective as it is now currently is. I think we would have totally full control over it at a point where we would be back to normal. Because for me, I don't think any virus has left the land just like that. I think it's still even have Ebola.
I'm sorry. I just said no, it have no more normal because after an experience like this, there's no way going back to exactly what you used to do before. I know for certain I would be washing my hands more often.
But yeah,
I come home. It have no more normal, like what we used to normally do. It have none of that. It's a new normal. It have no more old normal.
But here's the real thing. I was talking to a friend. I was talking to a friend and she was highlighting that it feels like if it have taken away some years of your life, that it can't get back. And also you have the fear of giving your parents the COVID. And we have fear of would it ever come back to normal? Would you ever get to go and get an opportunity to go and hang out with your friends again or to get to know new people, them kind of stuff, you know? So, I mean, the fear is real out there.
So Alexia brought up a point that it have no more normal, it's going to have a new normal. And she brought up a point where she said that she's going to be washing her hands more often. In my opinion, that is a kind of positive kind of thing we're going to come up from COVID. People going to be more sanitary. So
they're going to bathe more often.
Very true. Very true.
Thank goodness, Alexia, you're going to bathe more often, girl.
Friends, let's not start this right now.
My question is, right? Well, I think it will have anything else positive coming from COVID other than, well, sanitation, I would say.
I think most definitely we would continue more online stuff, like working at home and all this stuff would be more of a new normal per se.
Mm-hmm.
I think
what? No. Continue.
No, go ahead.
No. Continue.
I would just say, basically, within the economy and everyday life, most things would be done from home now. So I believe that within a few years to come, you would see less people on the streets and in business places.
Very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I think will change or a positive impact, you could say, is letting people learn how to be alone. Because much like myself, I like to be amongst people because it's like a feeding of the energy again to learn different things. But now that I had the experience of being alone, I could get to learn how to be myself instead of a people pleaser. So I guess getting to being by yourself, it really was a positive and a negative impact. You see?
Well, what other positives? Like the question, and what other positives?
What other positives will come out from COVID? Yeah.
It has so much negatives though. But
Very
the highlights are positive.
You're negative. Think positive.
But highlight a positive. I will piggyback on what Alexia said. People will get to find out more of themselves, but then again, people are afraid to find out more of themselves. But if we want to keep on the positive, people will get to find out more of themselves, meaning their talents or gifting, so they will be forced to learn new skills in order to survive. Yeah.
Very true. But one positive what I think come out from COVID, and I experienced it to myself, was the children or the youth, I would say anybody under 6 years old, they will have like more of a kind of tech savvy, and they will be more tech savvy in a way. Because my little cousin, went up on YouTube, as soon as he wake up, went up on YouTube. Mind you, he's about 5, 6, 7 around, so I can't remember the exact age right now. I wouldn't disclose it even if I did. He went up on YouTube, type up whatever he had to type up, sit down, watch it, and then went to class by himself. When I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I was just trying to learn how the hell to run and not fall down. That is what I was trying to do. I did not know anything about YouTube. I know nothing about getting to class online. And this boy at this young age getting to do it. So, exactly, tech savvy. All right. Another question is, how has COVID affected your life? Whether it be positive or negative? Brent, this is your time. You can talk about all the negatives now.
All you. That's all you.
Yeah, what? The podcast is almost done. So let me try to not be long, right? Negatively, how it affect me? It had to face the music. Basically, the reality, I had to face the reality of it. I can't run away from life, meaning a lot of people like me, right? Especially like if you're facing issues or whatever, you tend to get busy. You tend to always be protected by people around you. Like according to Alexia, you feel the energy of people, or you get busy with work or school or whatever. But now, COVID bring in such a place that it's just you and God, right? And you and God alone, and that no God is all holy, and you is like a mess, right? So it's like watching yourself in the mirror and it's like, man, I can't deal with this now. But it forces you to deal with whatever issues you're going through with and to try to get out, to try to be a better person. Yeah.
Agreed. I personally don't like to see negatives. I like to see like the candle in the darkness. So there's a little light amongst everything. So every single negative thing that I thought was negative, I took it and I made it into a positive. Like dealing with everybody in my house. I live with approximately 5, 6 people. So that's a lot of different personalities and everybody's at an age. So it was a lot, but I learned to adapt and I realized that it could help me in the future. So it's also just to take these things that frustrate me, stress me out, infuriate me, and then turn it around. So thank God for no negatives.
Amen.
For me, it had a lot of negative because I'm the type of person I like to interact, just like Brent, go out there, experience things. Especially when it comes to sports, I like to play a lot of sports, do all these adventurous things. So for me, having to sit home and adapt, it really brought me down a lot, but it also taught me how to spend time with myself, because back then, before it had no COVID, and I really used to spend time with myself, and I used to learn myself. So I believe the positive within me is getting to spend time with myself and know myself more better, which was very beneficial up to this day. Actually figure out the life lifelong term goals that I would like to go about doing, and which career path. So it had a negative impact on me, but it also turned out to be positive.
That's good. That's good. Well, I want to end it off on kind of like a fun kind of question in a way, and this going out to everybody. I know all of this be on YouTube sometimes, and I just want to know if all you ever hear about any kind of COVID conspiracies that ever going around. So, and if all you ever believe in any one of them. So that's the question. If all you ever like believe in any kind of COVID conspiracy.
Nah, I never believe in any.
I hear plenty rumors, plenty things. And yeah, it's like
just take it at face value. Whatever they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
That's what I
right.
say. Okay. And I just said,
Yeah. It never really affect me to say, oh, so that's what's going on. And the line to me. Oh,
if I have to say is, me might be going off topic a little bit, is that I never really believe the statistics within how much people actually have and don't have COVID. I never really believe it. So up to this day, I would say I don't think the amount of people that they say have COVID actually have COVID.
I
So
agree.
it's an extra tricky thing.
no, well, it could be
I
more.
agree.
What do you mean? It
It could be
more
less
people.
though.
Well,
It could be
less.
more, it could be less.
I feel as though it could be less because my brother, he's studying he's studying to become a doctor, and he says that the COVID, everybody who died from COVID, it doesn't necessarily be people who die from COVID. It's be like people who had it but they die from something else. So it's not necessarily I died
I
from
agree.
COVID.
And
Yeah.
then we living in such a time where as I get sick is basically they want to say it's COVID. So it's so hard
Yeah.
to believe everything.
And now it's flu season, so it's worst time. Worst
Right.
time. Get a little sniffles.
Brandon, we have a surprise inside. We have a surprise. Somebody jump in there.
Yes.
Recording.
So guys, it would be my greatest honor to welcome Desiree to the On The Beat team. Say hi, Desiree.
Hi,
All right.
everyone.
So Desiree would be participating in the discussions from next week, I believe. That correct, Brent? Right, I get one fact correct this whole podcast. Amen. All right. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Yeah, man.
Adios.
Later.
Thank you for listening to On The Beat podcast. Feel free to share, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay blessed, everyone.